Utkarsh, last but not the least, large organization, lot of legacy, Hero MotoCorp. How do you really, how do you, we hear a lot about innovation when it comes to Hero MotoCorp. How does large organizations like Hero MotoCorp kind of weave innovation into their growth strategy, and more importantly, where does startups figure in all of this?
Before you answer, so in corporate it is easy. We know the customer ecosystem, so there is a problem, we build a solution for it. But for him, there is no problem statement, right? So you have to understand what the customer, or sometimes you create the customer behavioral change as well. So if you could add something, I would like to know more about it. Thank you.
Sure. First thing first, I would like you to come and join a couple of meetings with me internally. I want the statement to go out internally also. People feel that my job is the easiest on planet, but actually it's not. So, hi, hello everyone. It's great to be part of this panel. With few friends whom I know more than now 5-7 years. Uh, I represent Hero MotoCorp, which is world's largest two-wheeler manufacturer. And how do we integrate innovation? I mean, we have been there since last 40 years. World's largest position has been entitled last 23 years, and we have been retaining that for last 23 years. It's not very common that any Indian organization retain something of that peak for that longer period of time. So we have achieved, over years, we have achieved with systematic integration of innovation within the organizational structure. So in terms of longer 10-year growth strategy, and I'll come to your question through in the end, but in terms of longer integration of the growth strategy, how we do is, we have integrated innovation as core pillar as the bottom support function for the entire organization. So which means innovation as a function is equally important as you take any support function, whether it's HR, for example, whether it's a digital or IT to eventually. I have been part of 4 different industries. I started with e-commerce, Amazon, switched, moved to digital consulting, very small tenure in the fintech and payments industry, and eventually to automobile. And one thing which I have observed, that innovation, the only place it's not integrated and the organizations feel threatened, or the functions internally feel threatened, when you start overstepping into their role and the work that they want to do, and when you start absorbing that, okay, this is something that I'll take, that's something that I'll take. Probably people treat innovation as everything that you can do. One thing which I have solved, or trying to solve for Hero since last 3 years is, we have made one thing very clear, that we are not the owner of the problems. We are the enablers, we are the supporters who will help the functions to solve their day-to-day problems, or even eventually the longer vision. And that's where I'll answer your questions, which also includes sometimes to follow the trends which are going on in industry, or sometimes to tell industry that this could be the trend. I'm not sure if how many of you have heard about something called Surge, which is industry or world's first interchangeable vehicle, 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler platform. And I was talking to someone in this panel. Surge has came out from our internal incubator program. It was 4 years back when the idea of Surge started, and we are 10,000 strong, 10,000 employees strong organization, and I'm pretty sure that out of 10,000, 90% were sure that this is going to fail. And here we are today launching. We have already launched the product. Here we are unveiling very soon commercially the product. It has been, the response has been great. The entire industry has come out to accept that product. In terms of in terms of startup integration, not just startup, in our portfolio, we have our dealers and suppliers, another vertical integration that we have to do. So recently, we unveiled something for our dealers to enable them solve for the larger integration. And getting the nerves of customer is one of the major things that we are looking forward from our dealers, because we have, again, one of the largest dealer network across the board. So idea is very simple, whether through our partners, through startups, or academia PS. You were there last year with something called Hero Campus Challenge. It's one of India's largest academic interaction program. Last year, we received 1 lakh entries from roughly about 4,000 campuses across country. We work very closely with Government of India on Startup India engagement. So a lot of these engagements and initiatives are core pillars to integrate innovation with different functions and the work that we do. And eventually, the last piece is startup, and I'll save that for next question because there's something I want to share on startups specifically.
Thank you. I think that's a very important element because for large organizations to innovation is not one, it's not team, it's not a function of one team alone. You have to broad base innovation across the organization, and the innovation team is largely an enabling team, and we create a culture of innovation rather than just driving innovation. It's not possible because you never know where the next big thing can come from the organization. So you are kind of a facilitator rather than and I also like the approach. Is almost like a multi-pronged approach, from the academic side, from the ecosystem side, and also from the internal changes that you make. I think very, very valid.